180 days. That's how long Israeli hostages have been held captive in Gaza since the October 7th Hamas attack. That includes at least 6 American citizens. Today, in a powerful demonstration of frustration, family members of hostages stormed the public gallery of the Knesset, Israel's parliament. Opposition members can be heard echoing their chant now. Here in the U.S., Jewish groups are demanding more help from the White House. I'm joined now by Rabbi Moshe Hauer of the Orthodox Union. He is leading an effort to deliver 180,000 letters to the White House today, urging the president to continue to stand with Israel and to demand the hostages be released. Thank you so much for joining me. You said when you came to get ready that you believe that those 180,000 letters have been delivered, or they're being
on
delivered
their way
right now.
They're being delivered as we speak.
Now, I want to read part of the letter. It says, April 3rd, 2024, which is today, marks 180 days since that Black Day. 180 days of the unimaginable torture of those held hostage in Gaza. Please continue to stand strong with Israel. It's the right thing to do today, and it will be long remembered. Talk about your goal here.
Our goal is to have the moral voice, the moral clarity of President Biden and the administration, which has been a critical piece of support for Israel and clarity for the world since October 7th. The world has misunderstood. The forums for resolving difficulties amongst nations, like the United Nations, still doesn't even acknowledge the reality of the rape and brutalization of the women that happened in the hands of Hamas. They have still not been able to come together to condemn their action. The president has been a strong voice standing up for what's true and what's right, focusing on the true humanitarian, most basic humanitarian issue here, which is the hostages. Today, the amount of time and words that are spent on humanitarian issues are vastly disproportionate around the ambiguous question of, well, how much aid is getting in? Israel's working to get it in. Israel's struggling on that. The story of these hostages is unambiguous, and yet it's being negotiated. Innocent children for murderers with blood on their hands. We're trying to ask the president to restore moral clarity.
Let me ask you about that. You use the term moral clarity because 18, I don't need to tell you, in Hebrew is chai, which means life. And in the Jewish faith, every life matters. And there is a contradiction between that belief and some of what we are seeing and we know to be happening with regard to the retaliation and Palestinian civilians, many of whom are our children, and they're not Hamas terrorists. They're being killed or starving. How do you, as a faith leader, as a Jewish leader, square that with the other bit of moral clarity, as you said, which is the need to destroy Hamas and also get those hostages back when it comes to a life?
Yes. So we absolutely, chai is not just a convenient, beautiful word or an emblem for a necklace. Chai, the value of life, cherishing life, is a core value of our people. And we feel that it is perfectly on display. President Biden expressed yesterday that he was outraged and heartbroken over what happened to the workers of the World Central Kitchen. Every Jew, every Israeli is equally heartbroken over what happened to them. And that's why in Israel today, yesterday, there's investigation. There's figuring out how to do it better. There's figuring out how this, which was essentially a friendly fire incident, which doesn't just kill aid workers or innocent Palestinians, but has killed many soldiers.
But what about
and Palestinians?
Innocent
absolutely. The Israeli army is working with an ethic of trying in creative ways, unprecedented ways in modern warfare and in a situation which Hamas has created the impossibility of being able to separate them out by what they've done, to try to preserve life. Recognize that Israel is grieving over the loss of innocent civilians. Hamas is celebrating it as part of their strategy. They're not grieving over the death of the aid workers. The death of the aid workers makes their case better because it makes Israel look bad. They have put themselves to put citizens in harm's way. That's the difference between a culture of chai, a culture that celebrates life, that is trying to preserve life. Of course, there's a primary value, a priority that every society, including Jewish, has. We have to preserve our own lives, and we have an incredible value on trying to preserve the lives of others.
Rabbi Moshe Hauer of the Orthodox Union, thank you so much for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you.